Here we go. All right. I was in the mood to record a video. I got time today, cuz. So, yeah, let me see. It's 1:17. Just had some lunch. Went to go get a haircut this morning. Life is good, baby. Life is good. Feel good. My cousin's my barber, so we had a pretty good conversation. He does CrossFit, and so we were talking about like counting our calories, counting our macros, working out, all that good stuff, man. Just catch it up. I get my trim. I get a fade every 2 weeks, and feel pretty good, man. You know, it's nice having that that new haircut feeling, right? Anyway, so since I was in the mood to record a video, here we go. And yeah, one of my other videos, I think my last video, I spoke about, you know, ways to help an addict or somebody in active addiction in the middle of their alcoholism, right? I touched on it briefly. So I guess this would be a good time to elaborate, right? So I guess the question is, like, how far do you go? How far should you go to, you know, keep helping, to keep reaching out to people? You know, they don't necessarily have to be an active addiction, but I guess in general as well, you know, we can only do so much for people. When they're when they're in active addiction, when I was in active addiction, I was the most stubborn person in the world, you know, rightfully so due to my addiction. I don't know if rightfully so is the proper thing to say, but I was the way I was due to my addiction. You know, my addiction made me do all sorts of crazy stuff, especially when I was broke and trying to come up, you know, with some cash. So, how far do we go? You know, from an outsider's perspective looking in, there was nothing that was going to stop me. You know, nothing was going to stop me. Nothing was going to get in the way of me and my black. Black as age, hair on, right? Nothing was going to get in the way, you know. So, I was stubborn, okay? I've said that before. And I'm sure you guys know by now, especially if you know someone in active addiction. It's tough, man. Like, I've never been faced with a situation where somebody either in my immediate family or vicinity was struggling with active addiction. Like, in my immediate family, nothing like that. I'm an only child, so it was only me, right? I've had some family that suffered from it, but I didn't see them every day. You know, I've heard about certain things, you know, that was going on, but it was out of my control, you know. And I'm the guy that people should go to whenever they're faced with something like this, you know, in my family at least, because I've been there and I've worked with other addicts, you know. I've worked with other addicts in the middle of their situation and in the recovery, and it was one of the greatest times of my life. You know, I kind of miss it, man. I miss it. Just being able to help somebody every day, you know, help them get better, help them be better, just to be able to lead by example. And that's one of the greatest things that we can do when we're trying to help people, is lead by example. You know, of course, we would like them to follow our footsteps. Not every footstep, but just follow us on this path of happiness and joy and being clean, right? Clean and sober. How far do we go to help these people? All we could do is reach out Ask them, how can we help you towards your recovery? Of course, it's going to matter if they're living in your house or something like that. You know, the situation is much more intense, you know, I imagine, because you're living with this person. And if they're hooked on opiates like I was, you know, you'd have to keep your door locked when you leave, door to your room, and keep an eye on your belongings. Because if I was in your house during my active addiction, a lot of that stuff that you own would be gone. TV, shoes, anything of value, gone. And hopefully I wouldn't end up in jail, right? I know jail would have saved me multiple times, but here I am today, right? I'm doing all right. So I guess when we're faced with a situation like this, we have to protect our sanity, right? We can only do so much. All we can do is be there. Like, be there, man. Of course, the things we could do as far as like resources around town, but as far as like reaching out constantly, man, like you have to protect your own sanity. You have to protect your well-being and your mental health, because all that could drain you. When you start taking the main focus off of yourself and giving all your energy to somebody or something else, that will drain you. That will literally drain you. And the addict during active addiction, we know what we're doing is wrong, but it's not a high priority. I'm speaking for myself. You know, everyone's different, but I knew what I was doing is wrong. I know I was breaking hearts, but it didn't affect me enough to get me to stop. It didn't. Like it didn't. You know, it didn't affect me. It didn't hit me in the heartstrings. My main focus, like I said, my dope, my H, it was important to me as oxygen. Seriously. It's crazy to think about, man. I know this video is all over the place, but I feel good. And this is like a spur of the moment type thing. As far as like this video, I wanted to record something, get something out, because I'm feeling good. I always feel good after I eat, but yeah, this is a very important topic, man. So I guess to sum it up, you have to protect yourself, right? Boundaries, for sure. Healthy boundaries. Like you have to set up, you have to know your limitations as well, you know. When it starts getting to you, like physically, where you're stressing out, you can't eat, you're just like having panic attacks, whatever it is, man, really look at your situation. Find out if what you're doing is healthy. Because there's nothing that we could do, you know, being a third party, aside from, you know, hope for the best, love these people, listen to them. If they want the help, if they want the right kind of help, then, you know, we do our best to support these people in active addiction and their alcoholism. Ultimately, it's up to them. I'm here to say it's up to them. They are the only ones that can really do something about their situation. They would be lucky if they get arrested. They would be lucky if they go to rehab. Like I said, 4 months in rehab saved my life, man. So, if you guys have any questions, reach out, man. Seriously. Instagram, just Righteous Monkey, all one word. Gmail, righteousmonkeyofficial@gmail, right? Even though I'm busy throughout the day, I always make time. I always make time for my people. You guys are my people. All right. So once again, thank you for taking the time out of your day to kick it with me. I've been posting more on Instagram. Like, I love Instagram. It's cool. It's a place where I can be myself, right? Like, I'm not the type of guy that does so many things like outside of here, because I work from home basically. If I'm not here, I'm at my storage. If I'm not at my if I'm not here, I'm getting a haircut. If I'm not here, I'm at the post office, or running like certain errands. But I've done so much partying in my life to where life is good. I'm genuinely happy, and I don't need to do much. I need my rest just so I could focus on this business, get it to a point where eventually to where it could start running itself for the most part, and then branch out and do just create more opportunity for myself with the money I get from eBay. So I do a lot of research on my downtime as far as like certain businesses to open. Here I go on another tangent little rant, right? But yeah, guys, I just appreciate the time. I appreciate those that watch from beginning to end. I know we're busy. We watch what we can when we can. So thank you. If you guys have any questions, reach out. And yeah, I think I started talking about Instagram because I'm gonna start posting more on there versus my community page. I'll post on my community page on YouTube in regards to maybe ask the community something, their idea about something, but I'm gonna be posting a little bit less on there and start posting more on Instagram, because before I was posting on both my community page and Instagram, right? And it's just, I think each place should have its own, content, if you will. So, yeah, man. Let me see. It's 1:30. Good day today. I'm just gonna reset everything to 0. What that means is make sure laundry is done and also clean up my areas. Make sure it's spick and span. That way I could hit it first thing in the morning, right? And do the same thing over again. So I call that resetting to 0. It's not my term, but I love it. It's basically like making your bed when you wake up. You wake up, you make your bed. That way, before you hit the bed at the end of the day, you have a fresh bed. So it's just like cleaning your workspace. I want to make sure everything is good, clean, everything I use, all the supplies are fully stocked. That way I have no issues tomorrow morning and I can knock out my work soon, right? So yeah, systems and everything, you guys. Systems. I need discipline. I need systems. That's just how I'm able to get through each day. Routine, routine, man. I love routine. That could be a whole video right there, but I don't know how far I could elaborate on that. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I keep going. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.